Hi, welcome back to another episode of Under the Blanket podcast. I'm your host, Lita. Thank you so much for being here another week. I hope you're having a great week so far. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm just really excited to see you guys again this week. So, this week, I'm bringing you back again into my very cozy bedroom. I was trying to film in my living room again after episode 2, but for some reason I was not feeling as comfortable as I was in my bedroom. I don't know, maybe because I wasn't be able to lay and have all my pillow around. I was trying to film on Wednesday in my living room, but for some reason the phone didn't record. The lighting went off in the middle of the recording, and I just feel like it's the universe sign trying to tell me that, like this is our safe spot and living room is not. From now on, this is probably our primary location to always have this cozy chat together every week. And also, I'm so much more comfortable here. The only thing though, here it's very cold because we don't always turn our heater on. Actually, we don't turn our heater on at all in our bedroom. We don't always, be in here except from when we need to sleep. And I don't like heater. It's make my nose dry. It's giving me a headache, all of that. But anyway, it's still, I'm under my blanket. I'm cozy. I have my Cardo. By the way, his name is Cardo. I can't complain. But yeah, how are you guys doing? How's your school? Or I don't know, how's your work? This week. To be honest, myself, this week, I haven't been really having a good week. And that's why, as I am filming this episode right now, it is Friday. And usually I film very, very early on in the week. And so I have time to edit and, adjust something that I need to, draft the episode and all of that. But it's Friday and I film today. I have basically Saturday to edit and then Sunday to, put the episode out there. And I'm not complaining that, it's a lot of work. No, but I just explained that because I haven't been really having a good week. It just, it's a lot going on at home. Not here, but back home in Cambodia, and there was some issue going on, and I'm not even gonna bother and try and getting into that. It took a little bit of my confidence and my excitement self away a little bit, and that's why I was feeling a little bit discouraged this week. Not regarding making video or anything, but it just everything in general. I'm feeling discouraged to just get out of bed, and I just want to lay in bed all day and just be on my phone. But that was my week. But then again, you always have a bad day or a bad week, but it's gonna go past by, and I'm just trying to pick myself up here. Let me know how you normally dealing with your bad day or your bad week. Maybe I can learn and get some tip from you. And then yesterday, all of a sudden, I don't even know where it came from. I feel like my body is gone really weak. I have like body pain and all of that. I just feel like because of the season slowly change a little bit, and I'm just having this, season cold, and I feel like that was my body. It was trying to tell me that you need to slow down, take a rest, if you need to. If you dealing with something the same right now, having a bad day or bad week, like maybe you should try to listen to your body, just slow down, maybe, make a cup of tea, sit down and just relax and not try to worry so much about a lot of stuff. Something that is out of your hand to reach, something that is not in your control. And I just feel like sometimes we need those moments, and we tend to forget a lot that we are only human, and our body can handle only so much that it can, and we need to just take a deep breath and say, hey, it's gonna be okay. If I don't deal with this today, it's not it's not the end of the world, and things will get done. It was a little bit of a interesting opening there. Like I'm almost laying down, it's so comfortable. Just because I'm not having a not so nice week, I'm not gonna bring you along and talk about some depressed topic. This week I want to talk about relationship. I am not an expert in a relationship, and everybody has their own point of view on relationship, what a healthy, secure or toxic relationship looks like. I've been through something before I met my husband. There are maybe something that you ignore along the way, and you're trying to make excuse for yourself, or you're trying to make excuse for the person that you think might be, a good fit for you. Maybe they're not. I like the saying, and I believe it, that believe when they show you who they are. Like, we'll make excuse for them if we want to be with them. And it's so easy to just say, like, to just ignore all of our friends' advice, and they're like, oh, I don't think he's right for you. Look, like, he's very arrogant. And we would be like, no, he's not arrogant. He's just really passionate about that. And that would be an excuse we're trying to make. When you're in a not so healthy relationship, or one might call a toxic relationship, they will do anything in their power to manipulate you, to get in their way, to get what they want. A lot of time, like, we would try to make excuse because we want to be in that relationship and we want to believe that person is a good person. This is the thing with me also, and I know that there's a lot of women out there who exactly like that, is that we always believe that we have, for some reason, a superpower to change this one person. He doesn't want a serious relationship. Let me change them. Let me put in my superpower and try to change him, or try to change this person. But in reality is that they cannot be changed, because they know exactly, just like us, what they want. And if they're not willing to put up the work to change it, nobody, and I mean nobody, can make them change. Let me give you an example. Maybe it's a stupid example. You might think you grew up hating to eat broccoli, hating it, don't like it. And unless you're not willing to try it, nobody can force you to eat that vegetable. If they're not willing to change, if they don't want to, you're not gonna make them. And if you think you on the way there, they're changing for you because you did something right to make them change, it might be true, but most of the time I believe that it might just be their way of trying to manipulate you. And I'm saying this again from experience. People would say a lot of things what you want to hear. Like, they would tell you exactly what you want to hear in order to sleep with you, in order to get what they want with you. When you're having a conversation together, right? You actually telling them exactly what you want to hear. Let's say you're having a date, and then you're like, oh, I'm only looking for something serious. I'm only looking for someone who is ready to build a family and all of that. And you're telling them exactly what they could do so that they can try to get their way with you. And if that person is really serious, he or she going to show you exactly what you deserve. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to show you with their action and not just yapping their way through the relationship with you. It's so easy to just open your mouth and say something and say like, me too. Oh my God, we're so much on the same page. Like, I want to build a family too. It's so easy to just open your mouth and say that. But it's so much harder to actually prove it. I always go by the rule that don't trust what you hear, but believe what you see of the action. I'm not just talking about, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, husband, and wife relationship. I'm also talking about even friends. It's the same way. It's so easy to call someone your best friends, or she's my friend or he's my friend. There are some toxic friendships also that behind your back they would talk shit about you, would try to sabotage you and all of that. If they're calling you're their best friends, or if they say that I love you, do you see any action that comes along those words? And I have to say that I didn't value myself enough before I met my husband. I was always the person who's like, go with the flow, and think like, maybe my standard's too high, maybe what I want is too much. Instead of questioning them, why can't they be the person that I want or be the person that I deserve? Instead, I would question myself that I think this might be too much for somebody to reach or to do. If someone is really, really wants to be with you, they can do anything. They will do anything to make it work. For example, I was dating this guy before I met my husband. I didn't even know where that dating was headed. Like go out to dinners and stuff like that, and would go to his place and, make foods for him. After a few months, he would send me a message and then say, I think you're too good for me. Back in the time when I received that message, I was like, oh shit. Like, what have I done? Why can't I be just like a normal girl that he wants, At the time, I was questioning myself. It's almost like I'm questioning myself, why can't I be less good in order for him to want to be with me, But now, looking back, first of all, breaking up or trying to live a relationship with someone through a text message, through a phone call, I think it's a very coward way to do things. It's almost like you don't want to hear their response and you just want to say what you want to say and then be done with it. And then, second of all, if you don't want to be with that person, tell them the real reason. Or maybe just find something else a little bit more creative to say, but don't say that you're too good for me. And you would see that a lot of the people who are using that phrase are guys when they're trying to break up with girls. They'll be like, I'm the bad guy. You're the good one, like you don't deserve to be with me. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that to anyone. Don't ever do that to a woman. Don't ever do that to a guy. Just don't do that. It's so shitty. It's, oh my god, I cannot stand that. And I can't even begin to tell you how many times I got those phrases telling me that you're too good for me. It's so bullshit. And at the time, when you're telling someone that they're too good for you and blah blah blah, whatever the bullshit that you said, when someone is not in a confident and a secure place, when they hear that, they're questioning themselves. Let's say if you a teenager or if you're in your early 20s and you experience your first breakup or your first relationships like that, it's almost like you're sending this person with a lot of doubt on themselves into the next relationship that they're going to be in. When you still in a doubtful place about yourself, and then when you go into the next relationship, it's never going to make it a good relationship unless the person that you be with, the next person, is know exactly what to do to help you. But it's not, because you're not in a relationship with your therapist. They don't know what to do, and so it's gonna break this person even more when the next person left them just because of that. How about be honest with each other and say exactly what it is? Maybe it is something not so nice, and maybe they can learn from it. Maybe it is a mistake. Here's what I think. When someone is telling you that you're too good for them or they're not good enough for you, I think when they say that, it's because they don't want to hear the response from you. I think if they're telling you that we cannot be together because you're not the person that I'm looking for, and so we would ask, so what's the person that you're looking for? And so I can try to be that person, and so we can work things out. We can try. And because they don't want to hear that, and that's why they say you're too good. So when you hear you're too good, there's nothing else you can do. You're already good. Because they don't want to negotiate, because they already made up their mind that it's done. It's done. Whatever your response is, it's done. They don't want to try to work things out. They already made up their mind. They don't want to find a middle ground with you. They just want to be done. Because you willing to say what you want to say out there, but you're not willing to listen to the other person, and that's why I say it's coward. I just want to tell you that never lose yourself in a relationship. Never forget that you also have your own friends. Never forget that you also have your own passion in life. Never forget, if you're still in school, that you still have something that you're working towards for your future. Because if you focus so much in that relationship that you're trying to build, and I'm not saying you shouldn't give it 100 or anything like that. You can, of course, give it 100, but don't lose yourself. For example, when you were still single, you would always meet your girlfriends and have a girls' night, once a week or once every 2 weeks. Still continue to do that. Imagine if you don't have that relationship anymore and you cut all the connection, you lose all of your passion while you were thinking that this is the most amazing relationship you've ever been in your life, and all of a sudden you don't have that anymore. And imagine it's almost like you lost everything. You lost everything. And if you were in a relationship with a very controlling person and they were trying to make you lost all of that, support system with you, imagine that how lonely you're going to feel when you lost this person that you think gonna build a family or whatever with, and now you don't have that anymore. Plus you lost all your friends, or you lost all your passion. And a lot of people might not agree with me on this, but I don't think that you need to go everywhere with your partner. You don't need to be everywhere with your partner. Here's what I meant. For example, they're having a guys' night. Maybe let them have a guys' night and you go and have your girls' night. Look, everything doesn't always have to be you two together. You don't become one person. They can still do their thing. You can still do your thing. I've seen a lot of people, after got into a relationship, they want to bring this person everywhere with them. And they want to go everywhere with this person, and there's nothing wrong with that. It can be cute and endearing. Sometimes just need a little space, and you can also have your own and your me time, and just you don't always have to do something, even just to stay at home and drink a cup of coffee and read a book. You don't always focus your whole energy on this one relationship. At one point it's become desperate when you can't spend time together. Have something else that you can look forward. Or let's say if you have a date night, amazing, you're looking forward to your date night, what to wear, looking forward to get your makeup done and all of that, amazing. But when you also have something else, like your hobby and your group of friends, your family, it's also nice to also look forward and focus some of your energy on that. Have something that is who you are as a person. So this is also the thing, can also be very attractive if you don't lose yourself, you still have your passion, and you can also continue to talk and discuss your passion together. Let's say you're into reading lately, and so you can discuss which book we can read together, or like how good is this book. And it can also be another things that you can bond together. And that's what I meant, that don't lose yourself when you're in a relationship. I'm not only talking about a toxic one. I'm not talking about being in a relationship that someone is taking control of you. I'm not talking about that. Even if you have a healthy relationship, you can still have your own thing. You can still have your things that you look forward to. Like, for example, I love going to the weekend market every weekend. Does my husband has to come with me every weekend that I'm going to that market? No. And sometimes he would ask me, do you want me to go with you? Or he would drive me there, he would drop me off, and if he wants to come, he can come, of course. But sometimes I would say, this time I want to enjoy my alone time. I want to walk around the market and, looking at all the stuff by myself, and this is my me time. And then my husband would also have his own time and playing video game and watching footballs and all of that. And then once I'm come back from the market, or once his football finished, and then we can talk and we can do our things, and we don't lost ourselves. He still be able to do all the things that he wants to do, all the things that he loves to do when he was single. Me too. And if you in a healthy relationship, in a relationship that build with trust, like you don't always have doubt on each other when, for example, like, oh my god, she doesn't want to spend time with me, he doesn't want to spend time with me, she wants to do this alone, he wants to do this alone. Does he going to meet someone else? Does she going to meet someone else? When you don't always have those questions in your head, it just feels so peaceful that I trust this person, like, of course she needs her time, of course he needs his time. When we come back together, we can talk about our days, what I saw at the market, how was his football game, even though, 99% of the time I don't really understand what he were talking about when he explained to me about his football game. But I'm still like sit there and be like, yeah, okay, yeah. It feels so peaceful to be able to have that feeling that you don't question, you don't have doubt, because you know that this is healthy. Trust is so important. And I know everybody said this to you already. I know you've heard this 1,000, a million times, but I'm gonna be, the extra 1% that telling you the same thing. And I'm not only talking about romantic relationship, I'm also talking about friendship. It's so important to have trust, and you cannot imagine how your mind feel when you actually really trust this person and have trust on this person. You just, I can't even explain it. You just feel at peace. It takes me times to be able to be in, this spot, because in the very beginning of my relationship with my husband, I was not the most secure person. I was also not only insecure about myself, I was questioning everybody around me if they have good intention on me or not. I was listening to a lot of bad advice, and so instead of just trusting my gut and my instinct, I would overthinking and rethinking about all the bad advice that I got from people around me. And so when my husband, for example, would tell me that at the time we were not even boyfriend and girlfriend yet, right? We were just dating. And when he said that, oh, tonight I'm going to see my friends, and how dare he going to meet his friend instead of wanting to spend time with me, because I was insecure, because and that's why at the time I was always wanting to be with him. I always wanted to be with him, and it's like, how can he not want to be with me? Like, I want to be with him. I am not gonna, bore you with all the things that I went through with my husband to be able to get to this point, but like I said in the previous episode, also, I learned a lot from him because he is a very secure and confident person, and not in an arrogant way, and he doesn't show that a lot. And even sometime that I told him, I said, babe, you're very, like, you're a very confident person. He doesn't think that, but he is. And so I just looked at him as a person and have time to reflect on myself and look to me myself as a person, and like, it has a lot of things to do with what I'm thinking, what I always telling myself. And this is also the things with us women. We should always trust our instinct and our gut. And sometimes we got confused between listening to our gut or our instinct versus overthinking things. If you listen to your gut, 99% of the time, it's always right. It's always right. But sometimes we got confused with our overthinking, and we think that those are my instincts telling me that he's cheating. So you need to be able to separate. And I don't even know how to tell you this. It just comes with time. It just comes with time when you learn, when you understand more about yourself. We women, we are very detailed about things. We like, things done in a certain way. We want to get things done the way we plan it in our head. And when we plan things in our head, there's also comes with the thinking and all of that. And so sometimes it's very easy to get those two things confused. And I'm so sorry for this. I don't even know how to tell you, how to explain. But if you been through the same thing, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll just know that when you're with someone that really loves you for who you are, doesn't matter what you do and how crazy you act, you can just feel like you can be your 100 or maybe even 120% more of you around them. Previous relationship or your ex that told you, oh, don't do that, you're so cringe, but then in this relationship that you're so secure, instead he would laugh at you and be like, oh my god, I love you so much for that. Feeling that you have that, it's nothing comparable. And the same thing with friends. Let's say you used to have a very toxic friend that would tell you that that skirt doesn't fit you, or don't act too much, or you're too loud. When you actually with the friend group that actually support you, not only that they don't tell you that you're loud, but they're also going to laugh very loud with you, and that is how a real relationship should be. They don't get embarrassed when they're with you. You don't get embarrassed when you're with them. It's not the way they look, or it's not the way they dress. It's just whatever that this person give you, or things that they've done for you, that make you feel so happy with yourself that you'll be able to show them, or to show the world exactly who you are. I also ghosted someone, and that was not a nice thing of me to do. That was not. And when I asked myself, why didn't I continue go out with this person, and I would say, oh, like they don't dress the way I want them to dress, and something about them is just cringe. And now I look back at it, if my husband dressed exactly the way that person that I ghosted, that I was thinking that he doesn't dress the way I liked and stuff like that, does it bother me? No, it doesn't. Whatever that used to be an issue, now, if this person that I'm so in love with, that I'm so happy with, do exactly like that, it doesn't bother me at all. And that's when I think like that was never an issue of, you know, what they do and what they dressed. It was just you didn't feel secure, like, in this relationship. That's why you were looking for something. You were looking for like small detail to validate your feeling in order for you to be able to give this a go. It's like, I don't feel so happy in this. Let me look for something else. How about the way they dress? Otherwise, you get so embarrassing. And when you go out with someone in public, and when they do something funny, or when they talk really loud or something like that, and if you get embarrassed when they do that, and you start be like, don't do that, it's embarrassing. I just think like it's not a genuine relationship when you get embarrassed so easily with someone. By the way, my selfie light just run out of battery, so for the rest of the video now, you're gonna have a very turbo lighting, and I'm sorry for that. But yeah, what I was trying to say is that if you really in a relationship with someone who is really, really the right person for you, the right person will make you feel good by just being yourself. The right person will make you feel validated. The right person will encourage you to do what you love. The right person will make you feel seen, that whatever you talk, whatever you tell them, you just can tell that they sit there to listen, like actually listen to you. And I'm not only talking about something romantic, even with your friends, your families, they should make you feel seen, and they should make you feel like you can be who you truly are with them. If somebody ever make you feel you need to doubt yourself, or you need to change yourself for them, just take a minute and look at it, and what have they done to make you feel secure and confident in this relationship? Why do you need to change yourself just because someone telling you that, just because someone doesn't like a certain thing about you? That is their problem. They can go around and tell you what you need to do. If the card was reversed, and if you're the one who telling them to do exactly the way they tell you to do, they would never accept that. So just be you, stay true to who you are. I know it's not easy, but don't let those voices get too much in your head. As a human, we suffer a lot already with our own criticize. We criticize ourselves a lot. We question ourselves a lot. So it's not cool, it's not nice for us to allow someone else to do the same thing that we already done to ourselves from time to time. Your boyfriend or your girlfriend can be jealous of you, and I'm not talking about you need to be with someone else, or I'm not talking about jealous in the way like they don't want you to be with someone else. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about maybe you have a better career than them. Maybe you are more successful in life than them. They can also be jealous of you in that kind of way. And so if they don't support you, let them go. So because what's the point? You need to put yourself first. You need to think what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. And if this relationship is not worth staying, Don't try to make excuse for the person, and just because you leave one relationship, that doesn't make you a failure. It really doesn't. Anyway, this is our episode 3. I hope there's something in this video that you can take away from. I hope that you still enjoy listening to my voice. You still enjoy having our conversation from my cozy bedroom. And again, I'm so sorry for the lighting, that all of a sudden I have a really terrible lighting. I promise that next week will be a better, more prepared, more fully charged life for you. But anyway, if you like seeing my face, if you like listening to my voice, if you like listening to this podcast, I hope you give my channel a subscribe and turn on a notification if you like it, so you will get notified every time I post a new episode. And thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Until the next one, bye.